Hey, how's everyone doing? Today I'm going to be showing you how to do the second Easter egg on Outbreak in Cold War. My previous video was on the first Easter egg that focused on bringing out Maxis' story, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave it linked to this video. This second Easter egg will focus on Ravenov a little more, and this Easter egg is by far the easiest and shortest one within Cold War. But before we can actually get started, there's a couple things I need to go over with you as a basis. This can't be started until round 3, so from round 1 all the way up until round 3, you'll see on the map these orange icons that indicate world events. These are important for the sole purpose of giving you more rewards and points, so I highly recommend completing these for the ability to get those extra rewards as early as possible. And these will allow you to upgrade your weapons much faster also. The other thing I kind of want to go over is flipping rounds. Flipping rounds in Outbreak isn't as simple as just killing zombies to flip the round, which I'm sure most of you know by now, especially if you've seen my last video, but instead, there's going to be a main objective that you need to complete, indicated on the map by this white symbol. After it's been completed, you'll then get a new objective to interact with an orb, then a machine to get onto your next round. I want these videos to be easily understandable for all people, so if that seems like common sense, then you'd just be surprised. But without further ado, let's get into it. Starting in the menu, we need to go over a class setup. So for your starting weapon, I would say bring in the M16 because we will use this a lot and it's pretty good in Outbreak in general. If you have the M16 leveled up and want to use my attachments, then here you go. For the optic, I had on the Cobra Red Dot sight. The muzzle had on the Flash Guard 5.56. The barrel had on the 20.5-inch Task Force barrel. On the body, I had on the Ember Sighting Point laser, the patrol grip for the underbarrel, the Salvo 54 round fast mag for the magazine, speed tape for the handle, and finally the tactical stock for the stock. For your specialist weapon, I would say bring in Aether Shroud because it's good generally for getting out of a sticky situation, but will also allow you to sink more damage into this boss at the end faster. Step 1, once again, can only be started on round 3. So I'll say it one more time, I strongly recommend and suggest that on rounds 1 and 2, you do all of the world events to build up points and earn extra rewards like salvage and armor. You can also get, in rarer cases, wonder weapons, perk cans, pack-a-punch chalices, and even ether tools. When you get to round 3, do all the world events and the main mission, but do not go and interact with the orb afterwards. Instead, you need to look for a red portal hidden around the map. Upon finding this red portal, you'll be teleported into the air, and as soon as you spawn in the air, pull out your parachute. You now need to look for another red portal in the air and go through that one while still parachuting down. This sequence of events is going to happen about 4 times in total, so after going through those first 2, you'll end up going through 2 more after. After that final time, you will see a flying object out in front of you that leaves a yellow trail behind it. You need to follow the trail, and if you don't see it or weren't paying attention, when it hits the ground after about a couple seconds, it will beam up a yellow light in the sky that kind of makes it look like the mystery box. Anyway, follow the trail, and when you get there, it's going to be a part that you need to pick up. There's a decent amount of maps in Outbreak, but on each map, there's only one spawn location for this red portal. So I'm going to go through them all now, but instead of talking through it, I'm just going to let the video play out. Real quick, I will say though, after you go through the portal, the other 3 in the sky aren't really hard to see. It just might take you a second to see, and that's why I say pull your parachute out immediately to give yourself time, and say you miss it, then you'll just have to go on to the next round, so you don't want to do that. When you go through all of them and grab that part, then go interact with the orb to head to the next round. Instead of warping with the beacon, there should now be an option that looks like a phone. Press that to respond to Ravenov and it will kick you out of the menu, but at this point, Weaver and Ravenov will have some dialogue, and when it's over, you can warp to the next map like normal. Only this time, you'll always be sent to Sanatorium on round 4 if you've done everything correct up to this point. When you get to round 4, do all the world events again, but this time there's not going to be a mission to get on to the next round. To start step 2, come to this area on the map in the bottom left, and there's going to be a helicopter crash site. As soon as you get here, a bunch of zombies will start to spawn in, and there will be an audio recording that this guy will be holding. You need to interact with this recording, but won't be able to do so until you've killed everything in the immediate area. When you finally do interact with it, wait until the recording finishes, and you now need to go find a red orb around the map and shoot it in the direction of the bridge on the top right of the map. When you do start shooting it, there will be like 1 or 2 different stops that it makes, so just reposition yourself to aim it towards the bridge. When it does finally get there, it will stop above this rover, and for now you can't do anything, so we'll come back to it later. This orb is very similar to the ones on different maps because it moves and acts the same way as those ones do. The only difference with those ones is they're purple and give you rewards when shot at, but this one doesn't do any of that. It's red, and you won't even see an indicator on the map, plus it doesn't even give you shit for shooting it, so it's kind of pointless, but you need to find it. So here are the locations now. At this point, we need to search the entire map for Mr. Peaks. This is actually really easy because he'll spawn at a random box location that is not in use. So basically, wherever the box is right now, currently in your game, you can rule out that location. When you do find him, try to pick him up and he'll start to dance as well as float into the air. Plus, a bunch of zombies are going to start spawning in. After a little bit of time, like 30 to 45 seconds, he'll come back down and give you some rewards, then you can actually pick him up. Upon doing so, he'll act as your specialist that you can use just in case you get trapped or are about to die, and he basically just sends out an energy blast, killing everything in the immediate area. Take him to the bridge and place him in the cage on the rover, and the orb will start to float inside the cage with him. So without wasting any more time, here are all of the locations that Mr. Peaks can spawn in. Before you do anything else, this is the point at which you should get set up with anything you want perk-wise and weapon-wise. I had my M16 purple rarity in tier 2 pap and then an unpapped ray gun, which is what I used mostly, and I did just fine. While here at the rover, press this button on the side and a bubble will appear around the rover. You need to stay in this bubble to not take damage, and the rover will start to move outside of the map. You just need to protect this rover until it reaches its destination. This isn't hard to do, but takes a little bit of time for the rover to get where it wants to go, so just kill everything you see. Also, your minimap will just turn black, so that won't be usable anymore. When the rover gets here, it will explode and the bubble will disappear. Just follow the marker up to this location on the roof of the building in front of you and interact with this audio recording. When the recording ends, this is the boss fight portion of the Easter egg, if you even want to call it a boss fight. But as soon as the recording is over, you'll get another prompt on the screen to go to the exfil site, and this time, it's going to be the same as any other exfil. The only difference is the fact that the Oro will spawn in. So I would just say focus all your firepower on him and worry about the zombies after. I used an unpapped ray gun to kill him, and I had no issues, so this should be pretty simple. When the Orda does die, then the helicopter will come down, so just get on it and the ending cutscene will begin to play. For completing this Easter egg, you will not receive an achievement, sadly, but oh well. I want to thank all of you for watching. I know that this this was a super short Easter egg guide, so I appreciate the time you guys took to watch this video. If you've made it this far, leave a random emoji in the comments, and my next video is going to be the Mauer Der Toten Easter egg guide, so I hope you all look forward to that. Also, I do want to apologize if my mic quality was a little bit worse in this video, for at least some of it. I kind of messed with my mic a little bit, and I messed it up so bad, but couldn't figure out how to get it back, so I kind of generally got it where I want to right now. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye.